Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video today. You can follow me at my other socials. You're going to follow me on TikTok at Sammy5436. You can follow me on Instagram at Sammy54362 or at Samantha P54361. You can follow me on Patreon or other paid platforms at Sammy5436, including Ko-Fi and one where that's a little bit less safe for work. Patreon members will get Mariners recaps approximately 12 hours before others, as well as access to some YouTube videos earlier than here. I'm generally going to try to make one YouTube video a week available early by a week on Patreon. I haven't decided what, and that will start next week. You can support me on Patreon for $1 a month. Coffee is also $1 a month. My other platform is $6.99 a month. And you can also follow me on most other platforms at Sammy5436. You can also email me at SamanthaPond54361 at Outlook.com. Thank you. Lyrics here is I'm done howded and now I'm shining like I'm born to be. We dreaming hard, we came so far, now I believe. That's for the pre-chorus. And what we think here is that they were hiding, and now they're not. They're not hiding who they are, they're shining, and that's going to be something that's going to help the Hanmu, the Golden Hanmu, which is, I think, the reason why they chose to call the song Golden, so that they could actually talk about the Golden Hanmu. And like I'm Born to Be, that is also something that I think is very queer coded from K-pop Demon Hunters, because you'll see a lot of gay and trans people talk about how they're no longer hiding, they're being who they're born to be, things like that. And I think that is something very, very interesting. But I also think it relates back to Rumi actually not believing in the song, and that being part of why she has such a hard time actually singing Golden and why she has such a hard time singing Takedown. She has such a hard time because she doesn't believe in the songs, and with that, we see her have to hide. And then later in the post chorus, all three of them, oh, I'm done hiding, now I'm shining like I'm born to be. Oh, our time, no fears, no lies, that's who we're born to be. No fears, no lies. That's two really big things that Rumi's doing. She's afraid that Zoe and Mira are going to find out that she's a demon, part demon, and she's hiding it. It's a fear and a lie. Yes, it's the story of Huntrix, but it's also the story of how the voice of the group isn't doing what they need her to do. And it's very, very strong that that's happening with Rumi as a demon. It's something that the Huntrix as a group need to work through, and unfortunately, Rumi just doesn't want to. To the first verse of Takedown. So sweet, so easy on the eyes, but hideous on the inside. Whole life spreading lies, but you can't hide. Baby, nice try. I'm about to switch up these vibes. I finally opened my eyes. It's time to straight back into the night. Yes, that's a diss track about this, or diss to the Saja boys because they are demons, and yes, Genu did lie. But Rumi lied bigger. Rumi's lie is arguably bigger. She's a hunter who is a demon. And she unfortunately was not showing herself. And she's writing a song dissing herself. And this is another part of the show that is queer coded. Because a lot of times queer people will spend time dissing themselves, disrespecting themselves, talking about how they want to fit into society that doesn't accept them, and do things to suppress their identity. That's a thing that happens. And unfortunately, Rumi did that to herself in a way that affected not just her, but also affected the Hunmoon by making it go away, essentially. But she did destroy it. Um, then there's a refrain. Because I see your real face and it's ugly as sin. Time to put you in your place because you're rotten within. When your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred want to grow out of my veins. Yeah, there are people who will see a queer person and immediately start hating them for no reason. In this, though, with the demons, they seem to have a reason. And the reason here is that it's because the demons will take their souls, and the demons to them are unredeemable, irredeemable. But we see in the end two demons get redeemed. We see Genu get redeemed, and we see Rumi get redeemed for her actions as well. And with that, what we see is that being yourself and being true to yourself is something very important to both the message of K-pop demon hunters and just what is a good message in general. Um, I think it's very, very important for that there is telling the truth, being yourself, and thinking that you can redeem yourself. And because of Rumi not telling the truth, the hatred grows from Zoe and Mira. And when your patterns start to show, it makes the hatred want to grow out of my veins. We see that Zoe and Mira hate Rumi at that point. They hate her being for being a demon. And unfortunately, with that, what happens is they attack her. Now, what we did see was Rumi only brought out two of her six blades, and not Rumi, Zoe. And Mira brought out her full blade, and they went and attacked her because they were like, "This is a demon. We hate demons. We have to kill them." And that was just because that's what they'd been taught, which is another kind of queer coded thing. You've been taught. Hate is generally taught. It's also critical race theory could be at play there as well, something along those lines. Because a lot of times you put a black baby and a white baby together, they don't hate each other. They'll play. But if you have like people at home who start telling the white kid that they're better than the black kid and that they should hate them, blah, 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 now that white kid grows up and doesn't see it, you say, hey, you should hate queer people. It's a whole thing. And that's why, this is something where it's applicable to both queer and critical race theory in a way that is, I think, very, very
Joining me for this
important
video. Remember, if you like the video,
for
like the
both
video.
K-pop
Don't
Demon
forget to
Hunters general
subscribe,
messaging and also
comment,
just
share,
from a
and
literary
ring that
messaging
bell if you
standpoint.
want to get notified every time a new video goes live. I publish multiple videos a
And
day.
Rumi kind of realizes this is all her fault. Nothing but the truth now, nothing but the proof of what I am, the worst of what I came from, patterns I'm ashamed of, things that I don't even understand. I tried to fix it, I tried to fight it. My head was twisted, my heart divided, my lies all collided. I don't know why I didn't trust you all to be on my side. That's very, very queer coded. So, first of all, yes, being in the closet is something I would consider a lie. A lie not only to yourself, but a lie to your family, to your friends, and to everybody. You may not know that you're in the closet. You may not know because you may not have the language to understand it. You may not be old enough to understand it, all those things. But once you are able to have the language and able to understand those things, it's very important for you to not have that lie so that you can live your life in a positive, happy manner. And then I'm actually going to go through this one line by line. Nothing but the proof of what I am. That means that you can't go around saying, oh, yeah, I'm not gay, blah, 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 while literally having a husband while being a man. Or, no, there is that idea of passing for trans people, whereas, like, some trans men totally pass, some trans women totally pass. Many don't. I don't really care. I'm not getting into that discourse now. But the proof of what you are is something that's there. Like you can have proof that you're gay by having a husband or a wife and being of the same gender as them. The worst of what I came from, patterns I'm ashamed of. Now, here's an interesting one. Patterns I'm ashamed of doesn't mean like self harm scars here or anything like that. It means patterns of behavior. Rumi's behavior was pretty unacceptable through some portions of the movie, hiding large portions of it. She hid that she was meeting with Genu and the other Saja boys, and it was just not good at all for her. And because of that, the worst of what I came from, patterns I'm ashamed of. She's ashamed of her behavior. And then things that I don't even understand. She doesn't understand why she did it. She had societal expectations. A lot of times, and this is not just in a queer theory type situation, this is in a full life situation. Many people don't understand why they're doing the thing they're doing. You don't understand why you're going to college because you wanted to be a plumber, but you're like, I'm going to college because my society told me to, something like that. Or you might be like, yeah, I wanted to have facial feminization surgery, but nobody said I needed it, so I didn't. But like I didn't understand why, and that's a thing. With Rumi, she didn't understand why she did it. She didn't understand why she hid her patterns from the other girls, but she had to. I tried to fix it, I tried to fight it. A lot of times we do try to fix things and end up making things worse. Trying to fight it makes things worse. My head was twisted, my heart divided, my lies all collided here. Yeah, that often will happen. A lot of times when queer people come out, we will have a massive blow up in a friend group, or sometimes a massive blow up in a friend group causes somebody to have a queer awakening. And for Rumi, she had a bit of an awakening here that, yes, The patterns shouldn't be something she should be ashamed of. They're a part of her, but she's not a demon. Yes, she has demon blood in her, but she is just a regular person, as much as a K-pop idol can be a regular person. And she's able to do this. My lies all collided. Every single lie she told all came out. Rumi and knowing that Takeover wasn't going to be a good song, the demons kidnap Bobby, Zoe and Mira are gone, they do takedown, her patterns are out, every single lie or mistruth she told is right there. And I don't know why I didn't trust you to be on my side. That's also a very queer coded line because many queer people will not trust their friends or family to be on their side because of societal expectations. And that's exactly what happened with Rumi. So, yeah, um, that's a quick thing that happened. And I appreciate that this is something that happened. And then, of course, the chorus is I broke into a million pieces and I can't go back, but now I'm exceeding all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and heart of me. My voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. Why did I cover up the color stuck inside my head? I should have let the jagged edges meet my light instead. Show me what's underneath. I'll find your harmony, the song we couldn't write. This is what it sounds like. Unfortunately, because this is from the movie, they weren't able to write the song, so that's just the plot line. But a really important line in here. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony. But well, actually, no. But now I'm seeing all the beauty in the broken glass. The scars are part of me, darkness and harmony. My voice without the lies. This is what it sounds like. Very, very queer coded here. Because what you see here is a lot of times you'll see queer people who are absolutely miserable before they come out. And with that, you'll be like, oh, why are you miserable? And then they come out and they're the happiest motherfucker you've ever seen. And you'll be like, do you got bipolar disorder? Or something like that, which don't do that. But if you're a therapist, they might think that. Um, and and unfortunately, that's a thing that happens. And yes, suppressing your identity scars you mentally. And but you see the beauty in the broken glass. Now, this is a concept from Japan, not Korea, but when an object is broken and repaired, the beauty in it is more. And I think that's something beautiful. And I think it's really cool that we got that in K pop Demon Hunters. We got to see the breakup and the repair, and how after the repair, just like after coming out, a queer person is a better version of themselves. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in a movie. Think that that noticing of Rumi having her patterns covered by Genu in the beginning of K-pop Demon Hunters in the big fight scene, and the lyrics show that this is a very queer-coded movie, and it's very much about the importance of accepting yourself for who you are, accepting that sometimes there are things about you that you cannot change despite society wanting you to change. And it because of that, queer representation in this movie, despite there not being anyone explicitly clear queer in the movie, is very, very much a thing. Although we do see that there is a little bit of polyamory with Mira, with with one of the ships that she's in, which is a form of queer relationship. Overall, this movie, I do believe, could potentially become one of the greatest movies of all time. It is being released in theaters this weekend for a sing-along version, thus making it eligible to win an Oscar. And I think that's very important. I also think that it has a very strong chance of becoming a cult classic among the queer community, much like Rocky Horror Picture Show did. I watched K-pop Demon Hunters for the second time last night, and I noticed something that I didn't notice before. And that was when the two girls are fighting the demons at the bathhouse after the Saj Boys concert, and Rumi goes to fight Gino. Gino notices her patterns, and Gino actually pulls her in close, almost in a hug, and it will allow us to see that there are um, her patterns. I think that this is something that's very interesting because he covers it up. And we see throughout the rest of the movie that the whole movie is essentially just talking about Rumi hiding her patterns, hiding who she really is. Despite the fact that Golden, the lyrics in Golden are literally all about not hiding who you are. And it's very, very interesting and intriguing to me that this is the case because as we see throughout the movie, we see that Golden
is supposed to be the story of the girls.